Hey, look at that. Ooh, that's a nice bag. I'm gonna use it today. Sparring, man, it was just really bad because I wanted to impress my father the most. When I didn't perform at my best with him, or if I got hit and I didn't like it and I started crying, I would run away. I literally would run away from my father and everybody. They would look for me. This is me at 8 years old running away, my father having to call the cops, and I put my father through a lot of mess. And I would cry all the time. I would embarrass him because I would cry while he was in the corner. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And that's why I never really liked sparring. It wasn't because of that I wasn't good enough. I believe it was just the fact that I was so hard on myself.
There you go. What's happening? There you go. Look another level back there. You. Gotta relax. You gotta hold it correct. Go ahead. One more now.
Watching how Teofimo Lopez is preparing for Shakur, it's clear this camp isn't built around wild bursts anymore. It's built around restraint, learning how to manage his own impulses as much as his opponent.
Pero jamás, man.
You gotta listen to my mouth.
I haven't felt.
You need to go to the field and live in that fucking field.
Okay.
Live in it.
Okay.
No motherfucking, no health spa, no freaking none of that shit.
Okay.
No health quest. I want you living in that field. That's all we need, bro.
Man. Coach ain't having it today.
No, bro, because I see what's going on, bro. 1, 2.
Can I come back with a hook?
Okay.
Slip.
All signs point to one uncomfortable reality his camp is having to confront. Emptying the tank early doesn't solve the Shakur problem. It just leaves you exhausted on camera. So the work now is deliberately ugly. Long, grinding rounds with nowhere to hide behind highlight moments. Constant motion. Constant output. Being forced to punch when your legs are begging you to stop.
The hardest parts for me was getting my butt whipped in sparring and losing. I hated losing. I hated failure. I always hated it because like I said before, I wanted to become a perfectionist.
It's the first time I ever felt like so out of it. So out of shape, bro. Like, and it's crazy. We've been working, so I can't quite understand it, but coach is like, we just got to keep running. I ain't doing enough of it, so. But other than that, it's just part of it. There's a reason why we start, before, we do all this stuff too, is to make sure that we prevent any of these things happening when it comes to an actual.
The biggest shift has been breaking the habit of cutting the ring, launching one big shot, and pausing to admire it. Shakur lives off that mistake. Now it's about tighter footwork, shorter punches, and layered combinations that don't look spectacular but add up over time, even when they are landing on arms and shoulders. And yeah, on the surface that sounds dull, until you realize even blocked shots take away space, shut down exits, and disrupt rhythm. The footwork drills almost look funny if you're used to TEO's highlight reel lunges, because the new rule is basically no jumping in. Just slow, relentless steps forward, the kind that stay in your head. This camp might honestly be tougher than a weight cut, because Teofimo has to unlearn knockout thinking and start thinking in rounds, which is like asking a sports car to appreciate traffic. He's being trained to shift tempo, to apply pressure without throwing, to throw without rushing, and to make Shakur uncomfortable without handing him clean looks.
Yeah, add some slips in it. Add some slips. Wiggle it. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Chill. Do it, man. Yeah. Right. Yes, sir.
You know, my mind is limitless, so, you know, so then again, it's like I could always succeed to another level with it, you know, and exceed to it. So it's really just trying to just keep it going, you know, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You know, you gotta have fun with what you do. You know, I love this. You know, I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. You know, this has been 20 years in the making.
The opening rounds are being valued like currency. Not because he's hunting an early stoppage, but because he has to shake belief before control takes over. The real challenge isn't whether Teofimo can land something big. It's whether he can keep his composure when it doesn't pay off immediately. If he starts chasing a highlight, he hands the fight away. If he embraces patience, grit, and an unglamorous approach, he gives himself a legitimate chance.
1, 2. Right hand again. Give me that right hand, baby. Give me that right hand.
Don't show it.
Don't show it. Okay, go. Go.
Come out with it.
Too fast for me. Go. Come with that. That's it.
And just after dissecting Teofimo's camp, transforming him from a highlight chaser into a methodical pressure technician, Dan Rafael steps in to remind us why this fight carries more weight than diagrams on a whiteboard. He pointed out something crucial that often gets lost when people get caught up in hot takes.
You know, Teofimo has been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight. You know, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. You know, he did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came.
He's got a track record of showing up when it truly counts. He didn't always shine against Kambosos, and he didn't always look perfect. But when Josh Taylor was across the ring with real stakes, Teofimo focused and executed. That matters, because some fighters only fully awaken when the spotlight and the pressure are real.
And, you know, even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, you know, in a big time opponent, you know, he's delivered, and he's done it, you know, a number of times.
At the same time, Dan highlighted that Shakur's record quietly tells a similar story. When the pressure arrived, when critics shouted that he was boring, Shakur responded by standing firm in the pocket against Zap Ida, effectively shutting down the narrative. I appreciate how Dan framed it without sensationalism, because it exposes the irony. We act like these fighters don't perform, yet every time the stakes spike, both of them adapt rather than crumble.
Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. You know, when his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations. You know, what did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, and he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out, basically. He won like 10 rounds.
When Dan brought up their shared history, Top Rank, the Olympics, the Crawford undercards, that's when this matchup stops feeling random and starts feeling inevitable, like 2 paths finally converging. The point that really hit me, New York doesn't reward chaos. It rewards control and composure. And that environment will either hone Teofimo's pressure or smother it entirely.
You know, it started off, you know, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo you know, he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras. In that same Olympic Games, it was Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other.
Dan isn't hyping drama. He's providing context. And context is powerful because it removes excuses. No strange venues, no jet lag, no novelty crowd. Just 2 elite fighters, 5 minutes from home, competing where reputations are cemented. People argue styles, but Dan is quietly pointing to something bigger: credibility. Who truly owns their accomplishments when the lights are unforgiving? You can joke about boring or crave fireworks, but when the bell rings at Madison Square Garden, history doesn't care about preferences. It only remembers who showed up when the stage finally lived up to the hype.
kind of fight that belonged in America, and it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano. But before that, it'd been, a couple years, I think, since they had a main arena fight. So this is a big time fight.
And just as Dan framed it as legacy meeting timing and location, Lonnie B jumps in, pulling the conversation out of the press row comfort zone. His focus is unpredictability, not resumes. Lonnie described Shakur as flawless, punches snapping off without warning. It sounds like praise, but it carries weight, because flawless fighters aren't granted any forgiveness when chaos hits. At the same time, he kept emphasizing that Teofimo is athletic in ways you can't script, pure Roy Jones-style energy, capable of changing everything in an instant. That's where this fight stops being neat and tidy.
You got, listen, both are extraordinary talents. Extraordinary talents. Shakur, oh my God, flawless. Don't telegraph his punches. They come right out the holster. They come right out the clip. You got Teofimo, who's extremely athletic. He reminds me of Roy Jones. You never know what he's gonna do. And it's kind of hard to train for somebody like that because you don't know what Teo's gonna.
I really liked how Lonnie kept stressing that you never know which Teofimo shows up, not as an excuse, but as a warning. The version that rose against Josh Taylor didn't ask for permission. He just took over the night. And when Lonnie said Teo fights to the level of his opponent, that landed. Because Shakur is exactly the kind of fighter who forces you to either elevate or look ordinary in slow motion. Lonnie also added a key point many overlook. Shakur can't relax on the ropes in this fight. Once Teo finds his comfort, he becomes a moving problem with confidence built in. This isn't fair. It's all about rhythm.
Josh Taylor.
Okay.
Look what he did to Josh Taylor. Oh my God. I mean, just playing with him. Just hitting him with big shots, just doing whatever he wants, styling on him. So you can never count Teo out. You can never count Teo out, man. He's, like I said, an extraordinary talent, but so is Shakur. I do think Shakur can't lay on the ropes like he do. I think Shakur he got to be a lot more active this fight. Because once you let Teo get in this groove, he's a hard train to stop, man. And he's athletic. You never know what he's going.
What stuck with me most was Lonnie refusing to pick a winner, calling it a coin flip, not because he's unsure, but because he sees this as a battle of will disguised as skill. He said it plainly. This isn't about who's prettier or more technical. It's about who refuses to lose when everything feels off. And I agree. Both fighters are elite. Both are special. But only one will assert themselves when comfort vanishes. You can draw up all the game plans you want, but when the bell rings, someone's identity is being tested in real time. That's why Lonnie didn't flinch at calling it 50-50ths. It wasn't sitting on the fence. It was acknowledging just how razor-thin the margin really is.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can't wait to see it. I got it a 50-50 fight, depending on who can impose their will.
50-50?
Yeah, I got a 50-50.
You don't got who gonna win? We can't go 50-50. Somebody gotta win it. This ain't not gonna be no draw.
See, like I'm just like I can't pick a winner because it's like I can see Shakur winning it, and I also can see Teo winning it.
Okay.
And I can see Shakur winning it. Then I can see Teo winning it. Then it's like, well.
Right after Lonnie framed this as a coin flip, war of will scenario, Zab Judah jumps in and basically flips the conversation because he's not debating outcomes. He's stating the physics of it. Zab said flat out, Teofimo can't beat what he can't touch. That's not trash talk. It's a seasoned fighter's warning. When Zab talks about Shakur moving like he's in and out of the Matrix, it's not exaggeration. It's first-hand experience of what it feels like when punches miss by inches and confidence starts to falter. Zab isn't doubting Teo's talent. He's analyzing style compatibility. He keeps returning to structure, not record. Shakur breaks opponents down piece by piece, not emotionally, but methodically. And that's dangerous because Teofimo thrives on rhythm and reaction. Zab also emphasized Shakur's mental composure. He doesn't swing wildly between nights. He doesn't show up distracted. He doesn't unravel. And that stands in sharp contrast to the volatility that surrounds Teofimo.
Teo's a good fighter, but this type of style Teo possesses, you're gonna break him up. You can't beat what you can't hit. You can't. It is impossible. That boy ain't nothing to f*** around with.
Right.
Poor boy, he's something out of the Matrix Part 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. He you know what I'm saying? He pulling shit away and hit you with, well, come on. I'm loving him. He's dope. I mean, I always spoke highly of, always.
And when Zab talks about the Garden, he's not just talking geography, it's energy. Newark, Brooklyn, New York, Jersey, winter coats, packed arena, no neutral fans, pressure in every corner. He even linked it to that Bud Crawford mindset, the we don't do normal things mentality. I laughed, because it really does feel like that Camp Dares boxing to keep up. Zab wasn't forecasting a brawl. He was predicting suffocation. The kind where Teofimo keeps loading up, but Shakur keeps slipping away, like the floor itself is moving. I loved how Zab didn't hedge, didn't play 50-50ths, didn't offer polite analysis. He said it straight, dismantle. And while that sounds extreme, it shows just how confident he is in Shakur's control when styles clash this cleanly.
Buddy McGirt says it has to happen in the Garden. What do you think?
100%. That only makes sense. That only makes sense. That's a Garden 100% fight. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. That's all of New Jersey, because Shakur represents more than Newark. You know, he was the whole New Jersey and then the whole New York clashing in New York City. I like it at the